Welcome to another edition of What the Fuck Happenings in the area called YouTube. Yeah, we'll do that maybe. You can't even call these people atheists. Can't call them thinkers even. I don't think. I don't think people are rational. Yeah, a lot of people. I mean, this whole confusion. I can't tell, you know, the difference between feeling good and feeling bad. I'm not sure that it has really good or bad elements. I'm not convinced. Anyway, I mean, it's just, nobody would be able to convince me, say, when I was like 10 years old. You're going to find it. There's these people that have this theory that there's no value component at all to how you feel. Feeling great, feeling terrible, it's all the same thing. Doesn't have any value meaning. I knew it had value meaning for me. I knew it had value meaning for my sister. I knew it had value meaning for my grandfather who was dying of cancer. I knew it had value meaning everywhere where there was a brain that could feel. There's just no fucking way you can get this wrong and be working. Brain working. It can't be working. It's got to be broken. Fundamentally broken if you have to think about it. Fuck you. Kook. Anyway, I was going to get to that eventually. Alright, so newsworthy. Charnie Zazul. I know. No one's going to know who that is. Anyway, he was a person of some funniness. Yeah, he was funny. He talked funny. He did funny things. He's a cheater, though. Cheated me out of my contest winnings. Let his wife win. His to-be wife or something. His to-be, oops, I knocked her up. A little knock-up is in the video. But I don't know. It seems like he's been gone longer than the kid's age. I don't know. The kid didn't look 7, but who knows. Some kids are a little slow. Anyway, maybe he had another one. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, who knows? He might do something interesting, or he might be just totally gapped by YouTube. YouTube just moved way ahead of him, and he's just way, way, way behind. So who knows? We'll see what happens. It's nice to say, "Oh yeah, I remember that guy." Some of that's good now and then. So anyway, the gray guy has been making some videos. These black and white style inmendham thingies and background stuff, and then some other new guy. I can't remember his name. Did make a video, Mendham voiceovers on it anyway. It had Holocaust images where pulled a knife out of Mengele's hand, yeah, and brutal. Thought there might have been some other one. Well, anyway, so yeah, go look for inmendham. Well, go, Gray's channel. You should. Well, I'll post a link. It's not that much trouble. And went to the Mengele video, and such. So anyway, it's good. From my point of view, I think they're good arguments and isolated. The videos are, I think it's pretty good philosophizing. Anyway, alright, so Old Fan had made some video about some book idea, the history of antinatalism. I don't know if the history is all that I really hate history, to tell you the truth. I mean, I hate, I don't give a fuck. Aristotle and shit. I mean, yes, it's really cool that some people were thinking people and trying to understand, but I mean, they still didn't, they thought there was ether in your head and demons, and they thought all kinds of wacky shit. And so their insights were pretty polluted by their ignorance, and, so I just don't know how important that is. And it's all, I'm not a big fan of the name droppy thing, and going through. Oh, it's good, but I don't know if I'm not terribly interested. I guess that's all I'm saying. I'm not a big history. I'm not a fan of who said what when. I'm a fan of saying things that are meaningful, whether they've already been said before. Who cares? But anyway, I like the idea of the book, because that we got to do. I mean, I know I'm supposed to do it, but I just don't do it. But I was thinking that I should make videos. I think I did in the past. They're devoted to the book idea. But I was thinking about, somebody had mentioned, I said in a video, blood footprint. And they want to know if I coined that. I guess I did. I hadn't heard it before. But anyway. But I was thinking it was a good name for the book. So I was thinking okay, so now we have a title. Okay, what's your blood footprint kind of thing. Or blood footprint would be enough. And just this idea of understanding the implications of what happens. Technically, if there was an Adam and Eve, there was, but they weren't called Adam and Eve. They were Ugg and Uggy. And, they had an Ugget. And, in a sense, they're responsible for all of the suffering mankind has endured. So all of the Holocaust, all of the cholera, all of the surgeries with anesthesia, all the slow death from war wounds, all of these horrible things. And that's their blood footprint just in human toll. And then you think of all the damage humans have done to animals and all the torment they have imposed. It's a huge footprint, and for what accomplishment? These little beautiful few orgasmic moments, playing with your little baby's fingers or something. Oh, please. The price tag is outrageous to satisfy nothing more than a desire, a need, a deprivation. So, that sort of jumps. It's the argument I don't want to get to anyway. But the whole Glibus thing. So the Hothla and the Anticontravad made a video, and I got, 30 seconds into it, and he said something, what if I like, or what if I want? And this idea of, if that's what the real bargain was, if people really knew their destiny, like say if you told them ahead of time, okay, you want to go skydiving, right? And you could actually tell them, well, guess what? You're going to be one of those lucky people whose parachute doesn't open. You're going to crash through a roof. You're going to break, 67 bones. And you're going to be in the hospital for 10 years and disabled for the rest of your life in a wheelchair. Then they might say, oh, wait, no, I don't want to go skydiving. See, when it was a 1 in a million chance, or a 1 in 178,000 chance, they say, oh, yeah, I'll do that. But when the real hard consequence is sitting there, and they know it is a certainty, then it's different. And what I'm arguing is that we know it's a certainty the autistic child is going to be born. We know it's a certainty the worst case, the worser case, a mongoloid or something who will suffer tremendously and die very young, 18, let's say, just 100 surgeries to repair all the defects, live a tormented, irritated life of no comprehension, no ability to really understand where you are and what you are, playing with your own poo. Come on. It's real. It's going to happen. That's the price of your endorsement. And that's the subject, which is ethics. So again, this asshole, this fucking anticonta cunt, can't figure out that the conversation isn't about what you want. The conversation is about ethics, which is, what are you allowed to take? That's the conversation. What are you allowed to take? Asshole. I mean, they have to explain that a conversation that your personal value equations about what you do to your own, how many times you want to take a razor blade to your own penis, that's not ethics. That might be the subject of insanity, but it's not the subject of ethics. Go ahead, cut your fucking dick off all you want, fuckhead. But don't be saying you have a right to cut somebody else's, so to speak. At least not in a non-constructive manner. Some cutting is good. Anyway, alright, and then, so anyway, but the book idea is good, and like I said, just the title alone, Blood Footprint, like I said, you can just go somewhere. But, we can have then do the chapters, which would be imposition. People don't really understand the concept. And then you could do the asymmetry and these different little bits, and, and then once you start doing that, and then you can start writing a brief paragraph, and then put the paragraph there and say, okay, well, how can we embiggen that and give that more substance? And then it might be one way of doing it, instead of a narrative where you try to go from beginning to end. You try to make the argument from different perspectives, pointing all to a center, which is you're a deluded asswipe that's just running idiotic programs, crushed, smashed into your head by morons called my family and society and cartoons and movies. Silly shit. Alright, so the other thing, so I got to the glibist. I have that written down, glibist. That could be one of the titles of a chapter. Glibism. This is so if Dickens could rewrite the Christmas Carol, and he talked about ignorance and want, and sort of set those up as the demons of the human condition. No, the demon is the glibist. Glibism. That's what will destroy. Make you a monster. Okay, Pierrot's retarded. Oh yes, he made a heads-up video for his room that he missed. I don't know whether he was planning on... I think he's doing it from a hotel or something, because the background was different, so it was obviously somewhere else, not his loft. But he is a... he's always talking about what a brilliant tech guy he is, and he's just so brilliant. And he's just so great at this stuff, but man, it just doesn't seem like he, when you can't get your mic to work on a YouTube video, and then you can't even figure out how, well, maybe I should write something in the description about what the fuck I was saying in the video that has no audio. I mean, come on. And then you leave the video up, even though it has no audio. You can see in the video that he can't get it to work. I mean, it's just rude. So you have people watch a non-audio video. You don't give any explanation and description about exactly what you were saying, like you're going to do it tomorrow or tonight or later or something. Nothing. I mean, it just, just points out again how Pierrot has a real problem imagining anybody else in the world being alive except for him. I mean, he really, it just is glaring sometimes that, how he's got this gap of ability to understand that maybe everybody else doesn't want to waste those 2 minutes. I mean, there's lots of shit to waste 2 minutes on. Not complete, confusing, useless, annoying noise. I mean, it's just noise when you provide no information. And they provided no information. Heads up on my room. Well, they didn't give anybody any heading up. You hit everybody with a brick for 2 minutes anyway. Alright, so I figured I would do, I have to do the physics video to this, whatever he is, annoying person. And I'm going to. I've been busy. It's nice weather. I've been outside. Blah blah. So, but yeah, I really want to do a physics video anyway. So, I figured I'd just do the first question because it's just one of those ones that's just so the people's obvious bias about what they've heard or something. They think, why does light travel at a constant speed? Okay, you could ask that question by itself. Why does light travel at a constant speed? Well, because it does. Because that's how long it takes for something to happen. That's right. If it happened instantaneously, oh, that's right, everything would be over already. And we wouldn't even need to have a conversation about it, would we? Because everything would have happened already. Oops, all over. So we wouldn't even know the universe existed. Spontaneous events, having light have no speed, would just, and the fact that whether it goes a zillion miles an hour or 4, what's the difference? You're not going to be able to make any relative comparison. But the only point is that if it was instantaneous, there would be no reality. You should be able to understand that. Then he adds this idiotic, I'm sorry, it is idiotic to me, because what the hell does that mean? Independent of the observer. How do observers change movies when they watch? They sit there watching the movie, say, I don't like this ending, I'm going to change it. Okay, changed. And the movie changes? Because somebody's watching a dog bark, it barks. It doesn't bark unless somebody's watching it bark. So if I hear a dog barking, I'm not watching the dog bark, therefore the dog didn't bark? No, come on. We don't affect light. Now what does happen that the relativistic assholes don't understand is that you, as a measuring device, you have to measure light to know it has speed. That means you have to do a time comparison. You have to have some ability to take an element, a moment, go another moment, and see how much stuff happened in that time to see how fast something's going. And you can't do that when you're moving as fast as the stuff you're trying to measure. That's impossible, you see. It just makes it nearly impossible anyway. So the only relative problem, relative is there's no problem, right? If I'm 5 feet from a dog, I can hear it bark very loudly. If I'm 5 miles from a dog, I don't hear it at all. That's relativity, right? Okay, that's relative. There's a relative difference, but it's only obvious to proximity. Well, the obvious problem with relativity when it comes to time is that speed changes how you're going to be able to process time. So if I'm moving towards light, the light doesn't get to me any quicker, but I obviously get to the light quicker. The light doesn't get to me quicker, I get to it quicker. And obviously if I continue to move as I'm receiving the light has a frequency. The frequency is going to be increased based on how fast I'm moving. I'm going to change the frequency in terms of I'm going to perceive it different because I'm plowing into it. Now the relativist might not think that's the reality, but that's the reality. Relativity doesn't change the light. So if I'm going the speed of light, and somebody's right behind me going the speed of light, and they turn on a flashlight, the light's never going to get to me. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. It's just going to sit there and, hey, I can't go anywhere because the flashlight's going the speed of light already. See, but the flashlight couldn't exist and also be going the speed of light. This is where, see, physics is so retarded fundamentally. They got the concept so broken. That's why they create all these fake things that they have no evidence that even exist, and they're just these imaginary objects that are made out of things because they don't understand the mechanics. And the mechanics is there's parts inside of you already moving. They can't go the speed of, your body can't go the speed of light, or those things would end up going faster than the speed of light because they're orbiting already. You get it? They already have speed. They can't go faster than light. So if I'm going the speed of light, I quite obviously am not a me anymore. I'm not doing anything. I'm a beam of light then. I don't have time to be anything else. All my bits are going as fast as you can go in the universe in one direction, and they can't do anything else. You can't win like an auto race on a track if you decide, I'm going to go to 7-Eleven and then I'll come back, because you're going to get lapped by reality. And so our bodies, our parts, can't do this imaginary thing of go some huge proportion of the speed of light. Matter can't move that fast because it's no longer matter if it does. So anyway, but there is no changing something by observer. You change something when you interact. You're not interacting in any kind of direct way with it. You're not projecting at the movie's projecting at you. There's a difference. You can't affect something that you're not influencing. And when you're measuring things, your ruler breaks. If it's moving too fast, it's no longer ruler. You can't tell time when you're moving fast. You just can't do it anymore. Okay. So, that's one of the questions. And I'll get to the others and do a video. So what else? So, yeah, I've been collecting more magnets. I just keep saying, oh, there's another. Oh, I forgot I had those. These are interesting ones. They're very powerful when they're like rubbery. They have a softness to them, which is kind of neat, but they're really quite powerful. I mean, if I... No, edit. So anyway, but yeah, I've been collecting magnets, and these are kind of rubbery, and they're very powerful, so it's very interesting. So I haven't combined them with all these other magnets to see what kind of wacky things I can make them do. But anyway, I'm finding yeah, I like magnets. It's fun. Anyway, so until next time, and such, and so forth and whatnot.